everyone, I'm here with Avelia Bautista, and we are here for our second positive death program in this series. Avelia, why don't you tell us a bit about what we're going to be making?
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is Avelia Bautista. I am the Education and Program Manager at Voces, and thank you for the invitation. So we are going to be making sugar skulls today in mainly Mexico, but many of the Latin American countries. We celebrate the Day of the Dead on November 2nd. So some people think it's the same as Halloween, but no, it's completely different. What happens is that to us it's a celebration because it's the one day of the year that we can reunite with our loved ones. It's believed that they come down to earth to spend the day with us. So a little bit more history behind that. On November 1st is the day that they celebrate the babies that passed away, the little ones, and then November 2nd is for the adults. So normally what happens is that people go to the cemetery, they decorate with flowers. They're called cempasúchil, which you said is the marigold?
Yep.
Marigold in English. And usually that day it's not sad. Like I said, it's celebration, so you'll see music, there'll be candles, pictures, and then a big thing is that they add foods, games, drinks that the loved one that passed away used to like. So they create an altar and they add all these items to remember that person. And sugar skull is just a tradition. It's just something that's made on that day. It's not uncommon to see people walking around with their face painted as skulls too. But sugar skull making is very popular for that day. So let's get started.
Okay, so you would have picked up your sugar skull craft bag. If not, we still have a bit more of them while supplies last. You can come by and pick them up at either location. In your bag, you will find instructions. You will also find your bag of sugar, your gelatin, it's a hardener. You'll also find bags of icing. Now our icing's already mixed up. Your icing, you'll just have to mash it around and make sure the coloring at the bottom of it is already is incorporated and mixed up. So we'll get started on showing you how to make the skulls.
I'm going to go ahead and pour all of it, okay? And then we can just divide it into half.
Now each bag of sugar, it's 3 cups and it makes 2 medium-sized skulls. So we'll just add the sugar in. We'll add the gelatin.
And then how many spoons of water does it say?
2 tablespoons of water and then 2 teaspoons. And you can add water as needed. The purpose is to make it so that it's easily moldable. So you don't want it too watery, and you don't want it too crumbly.
All right, do you want to do the mixing?
Man, take off my rings. Now, are these skulls edible?
Yeah, I mean, technically all the ingredients that we're using are food related, so yes. Do I recommend it? Probably not, but it's not going to hurt you if you do, especially for the little ones. Lots and lots of sugar.
So I think it should feel like wet sand. If it's crumbling, you kind of need a bit more. How does that feel? You want it to stay together in your hands.
It might I don't know, we can go ahead and try. With time, it's gonna start hardening up anyway. So if you need to add more sugar, feel free to do that. Because once you let it sit for a specific amount of time, it'll start hardening up anyway.
Now, other than the altars, are the skulls used for anything else? Or in anything else relating to the celebration?
No, just decoration. And although the skulls are painted or decorated very colorful, they do add, tend to add the black for the eyes and then for the mouth. But other than that, it's meant to be colorful. So the goal is to create a skull. Now I know that's not easy if you don't have like a shape maker, but something that I found helpful is if you kind of like create a ball, right?
Like a snowball?
Yeah. But then you want to kind of like start dividing it into two, so squish it from the middle. And make sure that the top half is bigger. Is yours stained?
It's crumbling just a little. It stayed like a snowball. But
don't worry about it being perfect, because once you decorate it, you can outline the shape of the skull.
And you can make them standing upright like a round skull, or you can even flatten it as well, if that makes it easier to make the skull shape. So mine is just a little bit round. And if you have Halloween molds that mold skulls, you're happy to use that as well.
Another way to picture it when you're shaping it is to think of a light bulb. Once you have a decent shape, you want to create two little holes for the eyes, and for that you just puncture it with your fingers. And then when you put your finger through, make sure you pat it around, because the sugar is soft and it might want to start breaking the shape apart. So just be careful when you do that. So there's the eyes and then the nose. Creating the mouth is optional. Even if you don't make a hole for the mouth, you're still going to paint it. So either way, it's fine. Alright, so that's what ours turned out to be. Good luck with yours, and don't get discouraged. You can keep trying until you get the shape that you want. A reminder, you can make it flat so you can actually set it on the table and then just kind of create the outline and pat it down if that's easier for you.
And you want to let them harden for about 12, at least 12 hours. So that way it's all hardened through. You won't get any crumbles. And then once it's hardened, you can start decorating them. You can use the icing, you can use paints, you can use anything you want to decorate them.
Glitter, feathers, anything. You can even use regular paint instead of the icing, so it's optional.
Oh, mine fell apart. There we go.
All right.
And if you're really in love with your design and you want the public to know to see all your wonderful designs. We bring them into Willard. We'll have them on display during the month of November. We'll have them on display. These are some of the examples that we've made ahead of time.
It is falling apart.
I'm just gonna
Okay. And I hope this gets a conversation going with families as far as how they celebrate death, how other cultures, how you and your family celebrate it. Is it a time of sadness? Is it a time of celebration? Is it neutral? You know, we're all different. Also, another tip is that when you're going to decorate for the icing bags, make sure you puncture just a tiny hole so that you can so that you're able to design very, very small lines. That'll help too.
We also have them have the icing just sliding off of your skull, like my eyeball here.
This was mine. It's been many, many years since I did one, but I think it didn't turn out too bad. So when it comes to the decoration, you can decorate it however you want. It's very common to be decorated like with flowers. So outlining flowers using many colors is the other thing too. So good luck with yours, and like Jay said, feel welcome to bring it to the library if you really like it, and don't get discouraged. You can try as many times as you want, but hopefully you enjoy the process and learned a little bit about how we as Latinos celebrate Day of the Dead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, our third and final positive death program will happen on Wednesday, October 20th, in the evening at 6 o'clock, and on the 21st at Helen Warner Branch at 11. I believe I have that right. And it'll be a conversation all about our cultural, religious, personal views on death.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone. Bye.
Bye.